And welcome to another episode of Just a Bit Outside. I'm your host, Steve Ely, and along with me, as always, my co-host, Wes Cook.
Back from Mexico.
Oh, how was the trip, bro?
Man, it was awesome. It's fantastic. I think I brought back something that was in the steak. I don't know what they feed the cows over there, but got some doo-doo problems.
The carne got you?
Yeah, the carne asada's got carne out my ass. But doing better now. Doing better. It's it's been a rough go of it though, I'll tell you that.
So, advice from Mexico, no water, no steak now.
Well, yeah, I guess the steak. I don't know, man. It was funny. So I go to the restaurant. I'm hammered, by the way.
What?
I've been drinking.
On vacation?
Yeah, right. So had an all-inclusive resort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hammered and go to dinner. I didn't eat lunch this day. I'm like, I'm ready to eat. Get here, do whatever. They have a steak that says it's prepared for two people. It's a 22-ounce steak. I'm like, yeah,
Give me that.
I order it from. He's like, for both of you? I was like, nah, she's getting something else. Like, this is for me. I know what I'm about, son.
You pulling that Bobby Hill ordering that big?
I did. I ate the whole motherfucker too. I was starving. But I was hammered. I guarantee you that's what it is though, because the next day I felt like shit. Or I mean, technically, it could be the booze.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be if you drank all week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna drink any more tequila for a while.
Dude,
I've had my fair share of margaritas over. Margaritas are good, man. I'm a big fan of margaritas.
I'm not saying they're not good. I just Steve and tequila are not a good combination.
I would like. Yeah, I get it. So I ordered an old fashioned. The only bourbon they have on the entire resort is Jim Beam. Shit.
Well,
so
at least it wasn't Jack, right?
I mean, they had Jack Daniels.
Oh, okay.
So they had some Tennessee piss water for you. However, that was the only two whiskeys I saw outside of like some Canadian shit. Anyways, ordered old fashioned. I'm just like, I just want to see what they do because I haven't seen bitters anywhere in this. So they go over. Of course, he pours some bourbon in. He takes his little sprayer and sprays something in. I'm like, all right, he's already fucked it up. He grabs vermouth and puts something in, and then he grabs like an orange liqueur and puts it in. It's almost like he made a Manhattan.
He did.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, maybe he just misunderstood me. I go to another bar later. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try this again. I just want to see if it improves, right? So, because like from the sprayer, I was like, maybe they just have simple syrup in the sprayer. I was like, nah, that doesn't make sense. So, anyways, like they probably use Sprite instead of simple syrup. It was fucking disgusting. So the next place, granted, it tasted better, but they used different ingredients. This time, he did not use vermouth.
Wow.
He grabbed some kind of syrup. I don't know what it was because I couldn't read the bottle, and the bar was entirely too dark. And so he poured something there. He sprayed something from the sprayer. He brought it to me. It was a lot more sweet this time. Like it actually had some kind of sugary like liqueur in it.
Yeah.
To like even they were just making like whatever they could think,
Whatever they could
be
think of.
close to an old fashioned. I was like, they're trash. So those are the only two I had. I did drink a lot of Jim Beam and Sprites.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with Jim Beam. I
Need to
drink some
change
Jim
it,
Beam
like-
from sometimes.
I got nasty heartburn one day because I drank sugary drinks with Christina all day.
Oh,
I was like, dude, can't do it. It's so much. I was like, gotta calm it down. So I stepped back and started drinking more beers, which of course all I drank was Dos Equis the whole time. I mean, makes sense. Funny enough, though, all they had was Dos Equis. They didn't have Corona.
they
They had
Modelo?
Tecate. No, they didn't have Modelo. They had Dos Equis and Tecate. And apparently they make Tecate Light now. It comes in a blue can.
Really?
Yeah. So I got drunk the night I ate that big ass steak. I got hammered, but I ran out of beers upstairs. I called room service. I was like, "Can you bring me a couple more beers?" And they're like, "You just want a couple beers?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just kind of hammered. I don't want to walk down the stairs right now or come down the elevator or whatever."
That's awesome.
They brought me 2 beers. I was like, "All right," but they were Tecate Lights. I was like, "Yeah, well, it'll do." Come in a blue can.
I didn't know they even made that.
Me either. I always just knew Tecate is, red can.
I'm really shocked they didn't have any Corona. That's crazy.
No Corona, no Modelo. I was shocked, man.
Got to be some kind of deal
I didn't see.
with the hotel
I didn't see.
or the resort.
There was no. Well, they didn't have any American beer. It wasn't Budweiser, but Miller, Coors, anything like that.
Come on, bro. They didn't have any like PBR or nothing.
That man, if they had PBRs, I would have drank them all week. Absolutely. I love a fucking PBR. But me and Dos Equis hung out for a long time. But so that's why I'm sticking to water for a little while. I need to dry out.
I did that 2 months ago. It was horrible.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I'm going to dry out as long as a month. But I'm going to give it a good week or so.
Yeah.
Gotta recover from.
Get back in the swing,
Yeah.
tone it down.
No doubt. We'll see how I feel tomorrow when the birds are on at 4:25, and then see if I can do it.
Dad, when did you guys leave last week? Last week, Monday, right?
Yeah, we left Monday morning.
Oh my God, you had to be drinking Sunday. There's no way you watched that game and stayed sober.
I drank. Yeah, I drank some.
I say that game was
No, it was too stressful. It shouldn't have been.
no. That was my lock of the week. I was like, Eagles going to destroy those guys. No, they did
I
not.
told you, man. But that's the thing. That's the team no one wants to play right now. Is the Panthers. No one wants to play the Panthers right now because they are playing well.
They are playing well. They are
Like
playing well.
they're giving you a reason to think with a few pieces added during the offseason, they're going to go in the right direction and be competitive in what is a bad division.
Bad division.
Yeah.
I mean, you really want to be honest about it. They're only a couple of games back.
Yeah, I mean they're.
I mean, they're out. They can't win, but they
Yeah.
could still finish second in that division at the moment. If they would get lucky and win out, and some other people lose, they could still finish with 7 wins.
I mean, they would have to win out to do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they'd have to win out to do it.
Yeah, because that would get them.
Me personally, I don't know why they're playing so well. I would be like, hey, let's go out here and suck it up, Bryce. We see you playing better, but
Turn that ball over a few more times.
yeah. How about this?
So let's say they do. They're not going to run the table, but let's say they win 4 straight. Their 4 straight are going to be against the Cowboys. Very easily done.
Yeah.
Cardinals.
that could be. That's
I could
Cardinals
say it'd
aren't
be
playing well.
done. No. Then they finish up at the Bucks and at Falcons, which are going to be 2 games must wins for both of those teams.
Yeah, both of those teams. Yeah.
So, I mean, they could get themselves right back in the mix of this. I like the Saints' chances to do that more, but I mean, I don't trust any of these teams.
Nah,
There.
I don't
not
trust
even,
any of 'em.
You're not even. I mean, Baker's been playing like trash recently. It's
They've been dealing with injuries, so I mean, badly.
it's not. I mean, it is what it is. I get
No,
it.
I mean,
but-
it is everything. I mean, teams deal with injuries, but I mean, certain teams, like, when you start piling them up, it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, Tampa essentially lost. I mean, you could say arguably their best wide receiver in Godwin,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, not knocking Mike Evans at all. Mike's still future Hall of Famer. But, you know, it happens. I mean, look at San Francisco early. Look at the Rams early. Look how they're playing now.
I mean,
And what if they had had Kupp and Nakua and some of these other guys early that were hurt?
they'd be much more competitive. I mean, but they're still in the West race like crazy.
Oh, yeah, they're still
so-
in they're
I mean, I think they're tied for top, or they're a half game back. Yeah, because Seattle has had a bye and the Rams have
I'm
not.
not, yeah. But I mean, like, they would probably be winning that division handily. But they played really well.
They keep everybody. They're competitive with everybody they play too.
That Buffalo game was sick.
I mean,
Sick.
that's a huge
watched it.
win right there.
I watched it.
I watched it as well,
and it was
good.
just like, holy smokes. Holy smokes. It's like
High scoring affair. It's everything you want in a football game.
Josh Allen throwing up almost 56 fantasy points.
Mhm.
Ugh. So
I mean,
pissed.
Puka Nakua had a fucking game that day. I mean, the fantasy points.
Kyron
were-
Williams had a game.
Yeah, the fantasy points were were to be had in that game. They're
Ugh.
all over the place.
Man, speaking of fantasy, I'm upset.
I understand.
Upset.
Get it.
I had a big swing. My game was super important. Super important.
Mm-hmm.
I win. I
You're in.
win, and I'm the third seed.
Yeah.
I lose. I finish 8th. I'm like, shit. I didn't do it. But, you know, 8th place got me where I needed to be.
Yeah, you get a buy and no potential to be dead last in a league.
That is correct. That is correct. That's
Yeah.
what I was telling. So I was telling Jen. I was like, dude, I don't care. Do I want to win? Absolutely.
Mm.
Do I want to finish past 8th? No, ma'am.
No. I mean, you get the buy in the consolation bracket.
I
That's
did.
very important. I am in the playoffs for the first time in a while. I'm interested to see how it goes for me. This is new the ground for first time in like 5 years.
Dude, I just want to say that the thing that irked me the most about that entire game is the fact that DeJuan and his homer ass San Francisco fucking pigs playing their goddamn practice squad fucking running back who scored 25 points.
I tried to get him so he wouldn't have affected you.
Dude,
I tried. I was scrambling because I had Derrick Henry on bye last week.
You know how
I was scrambling. I was like, I gotta get something. I gotta do something. I gotta do something because I was thin and it was thin out there.
and it
I
was
ended up picking up Abdullah from the Raiders, who they said should get the bulk of the carries. Nah, I didn't get one fucking touch. I'm like, huh, cool. I'll go ahead and take this L.
well, it just irked me that I'm like, you know, Chicago, you let a practice squad guy fucking school you.
Yeah.
School you. I mean, they beat the shit out of the Bears. Like, it was ridiculous. And it was just like, practice squad guy just did it to me. Lost me the game. Of course, it didn't help that, you know, Joe Burrow didn't throw it to T. Higgins at all on Monday night with his 2 catches for like 23 yards
Right.
or whatever it was. Just pissed. I was just pissed watching. I was like, ugh. I wanted to cuss DeJuan so bad, but I didn't.
Yeah, I get
I
it.
didn't.
I get it.
But at the same time, that's straight up a homer ass. Ooh, I only watch San Francisco's stuff.
I mean, he's been sneaky on that mess because I mean
It's
he
fine.
was-
He's getting bounced the first round because that shit ain't gonna happen again. That dude ain't putting up 25 points.
Oh no! I mean, if he's got to rely on him, that's going to be an issue.
Oh yeah,
because
he's relying on him at this point.
Dolphins defense is playing better, and they're at Miami, so they're coming across the country. The game's a lot earlier than normal for them.
Dude, they're San Francisco's done.
Oh yeah, we know they're done.
They're done.
You don't lose.
They're done. I don't think they do Purdy's deal this year. I think they make him wait. As they should.
They're on bye this week, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they're bye this week because they're bye and then they go to Miami because they played Thursday.
Yep.
And lost 12-6 after putting up 38 against the Bears. They put up 6 against the Rams.
It was awful. But the first half was like just sloppy as fuck. I watched the game. It was awful.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I mean,
I could have watched it. I chose not to.
Well, it was guys dropping passes. It was a rainy game.
Yeah.
It was one of those just like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Gonna be bad. And it was. It was. I will say it was a bad week for wide receivers to come out running their mouths though. Debo, give me the ball. What'd he do? Probably dropped what would have been the game-winning touchdown. Could have been a game-winning touchdown. Yeah.
I couldn't have it to a better player. I fucking hate Debo.
I'm not feeling AJ Brown right now.
Man, people were making a big deal of nothing here. I don't think AJ had done nothing. It was BG that came out and said they're not friends anymore, and then BG came out and apologized, and said, "Nah, I fucked up. That's not what it is." And I mean, I get it. They should be a little bit upset because they're not. When you look at the production that AJ Brown has, he has the least amount of catches with the most amount of yards.
Yeah, he should be fine.
But he needs more targets. I mean, the thing is, there's so many times that he's been in one-on-one coverage that we deliver him the football. Just give him a jump ball. That's what he wants. I'm not saying you do it every single time, but there's opportunities that could be gotten, whether it's for pass interference, whether it's just the opportunity to get the ball down the field. He needs looks, and if he's only getting 5 targets in a game, you're fucking up with that guy.
I get it. I get it. I understand. He's top 5, top 10 wide receiver.
Top 3 wide receiver in the league.
I wouldn't go top 3. Oh well, there's a bunch of guys hurt this year. So
name 3 better.
Puka.
Nope. Nah, Puka is the benefactor of the system he's in. If you want to put him one-on-one, AJ Brown is bigger, faster, stronger. Like AJ Brown is much better receiver than Nacua. I'd say like 2 years ago, Cup would be, but I'm not. Nacua's not.
Yeah, but you want to talk about potential. He could be better because DK Metcalf ain't getting shit in Seattle, and I think he's fantastic.
Oh no, DK's great too. I mean, he's got to step back. But
I'm not doubting that AJ Brown's good. I'm not saying that. What I'm going to say is their offense is different this year with Saquon.
Oh no, I get it.
It's different. AJ is not the alpha on that team right now.
No,
it's Saquon.
I understand.
And
why he's running an MVP rate right now. I get what you're saying. I get what everybody's saying. I think the whole team understands it. They knew Saquon coming in meant we were going to run the ball more. 100%.
They should have did it last year.
Yeah, I know.
With DeAndre Swift, and they just stopped at one point when AJ Brown started complaining about not getting targets.
That wasn't.
It was part of it.
Nah.
You can't say it wasn't.
No, but the biggest thing is there's a huge discrepancy when a guy's getting 15 targets a game and now he's getting 5. And then, you got to spread the ball around.
No, I get that.
And you've got to draw stuff up for AJ, even if it's a little 5-yard slant.
Yeah.
Just fucking draw that up, something easy for him to draw up a screen. I know Devontae gets those a lot more because he's going to be a little bit quicker out, with the ball in the open.
Yep.
But AJ's still strong enough to get through dudes.
No, AJ's still very.
He needs more than 5 targets a game. It's simple as that. More than 5 targets a game, make the guy happy. We could take 10 of the plays that we have and target AJ, hot routes, everything. Like that should be AJ Brown, 100%. First read it all the way fucking down.
Oh.
And then guess what? If he's double teamed, then all you need to do is look at Devontae Smith and then throw Devontae Smith the ball. Because between those two, I think you should have 18 to 20 targets a game.
Yeah, but they're not even throwing it that much.
Throw it that much. There's a lot of stuff that comes out of the backfield to Saquon.
because Saquon.
Tight ends are a lot more involved than they have been. I've seen Calcaterra catching shit. Like
Yeah,
crazy recently.
that's a little
It's
weird. But I mean, you got to think Goddard's hurt now, so I mean, he's gonna. I don't understand why they're going more to that guy and not AJ Brown or Devontae Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's the difference between Saquon and DeAndre Swift last year. DeAndre can run the ball. I think their running talent isn't that far apart. But Saquon is a 1,000 times better receiver than DeAndre.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I mean, that's the thing, and it's just I don't know. I like what they're doing. I mean, I don't like the fact that Jalen Hurts is still in Saquon's touchdowns, which he is.
But everybody knows that when it comes to.
I saw a stat last week while you were in Mexico, and I read it. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Saquon Barkley has been tackled at the 1 yard line 11 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many touchdowns he has after that? 1.
Yeah.
1. Because it's tush push central, and I get it.
If it works and it's gonna get you where you need to be,
I get it, but at the same time, think about like if he had half of those touchdowns, there wouldn't be an argument about MVP.
Well, if it was a traditional
running game,
yeah, I mean he's a big enough back to put in there, but also you got to think about we're running this play and all it does is save Saquon's health. Those are some of the hardest tackles and things to detrimental to a lot of running backs' careers. Are those in at the line, those short runs?
I get it.
Everybody's gunning for him and everybody's gonna hit him. And he gets piled on and shit. I mean, those are bad plays, man.
You got to tell me. I know.
Yeah,
I know, and you know how I feel about the tush push, but at the same time, I get it. I mean, you guys arguably have the best offensive line in football. Arguably.
I mean, you might say there's a couple teams that have good, but I think ours is.
I
think Philadelphia will always have the most.
And they've got the only quarterback that can do that. I mean, Josh Allen could probably do it. Probably.
I don't know. I mean,
if you swapped them out, you couldn't tell me Josh Allen would.
I don't know how much you can bench. I mean, the whole thing is about the legs. And I mean, we only watch. It's all about the legs.
We only watch Josh Allen truck dudes when he's running for touchdowns.
He can too. He's thick.
I mean, he's 6'6", 250.
I mean, he's a beast. I'm sure he stays in the weight room, and I'm sure he could squat a good amount.
I'm just saying, like, as far as the tush push, Josh Allen is probably the only other guy in the league that could do it as frequently.
Yeah, I mean, you need somebody that's going to be able to push themselves in with their legs and be able to hold their body up. The whole thing is he's holding his body up and getting pushed.
No, I get that. I get it. I'm just saying, like, there's nobody. It's them too. Like, there's nobody else doing that can probably remotely do it. Lamar ain't doing it.
Oh, hell no.
Lamar's not doing it. I mean, I'm going through the quarterback list. It's those two guys.
Yeah.
I mean, can you think of anybody else?
No. Just off the top of my head, I'm thinking. Going through my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going kind of like division by division. There's nobody else doing it. Taysom Hill could have done it. Could have.
I mean, he is a running back. I mean, Stafford has that body.
Stafford ain't running shit, bro.
I know.
It's funny when you see him take off. But
Jameis Winston. He's a big dude. Jameis Winston might be able to pull it off.
It would be God delivering him from throwing pick sixes.
It would.
Anyway, man, let's talk. I mean, we're talking sports. We jumped into it. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was exactly what we were trying to do. You got some big time matchups this weekend. Of course, Steelers at Philly. Steelers haven't won in Philly since the '60s, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a big time matchup.
I think that's the last time Steelers won in Philly. It's been a while. Of course, they don't play every year.
No, it's every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
every 4 years, and then they rotate it.
Yeah, 1965. I had to Google that real fast. My bad.
No, I mean,
But I heard that stat the other day. I was like, oh man, that is true. All right then. All right.
yeah, let's see. That's a big matchup. I'm kind of leaning towards Philly with it being in Philly. I'm not buying the 6.5 points, especially
I think
after
that's
this past weekend.
I mean, but it's still
Like if I had to throw money on it, I would take Pittsburgh and the 6.5.
I like the bet. I'm shocked it's sitting at 6.5 still. I figured a lot of people would throw money on Pittsburgh to, drive that number down. So it is kind of big. I would take 6.5 points being given that.
Really, it's just that game and Buffalo and Detroit as far as
Yeah,
huge
that
games.
was the other one I was talking about.
Man,
Yeah,
that
and
is
they're both on at the same time, unfortunately.
huge game.
I'm shocked this one didn't get flexed, but I understand why, because it's Packers and Seahawks in Seattle for Sunday Night Football. In Seattle, so it makes sense.
One of those games should have been flexed.
I feel like they should.
I'm a Green Bay fan, and Green Bay and Seattle should not be the primetime game that day.
Not when you have
Buffalo, Detroit, Philly, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
No way.
No, I get it. We have a doubleheader Monday night, though.
I hate those double nights.
I know, but I mean, one starts at 8, the other one starts at 8:30. It's not like awful by any means.
We're going to get to see Minnesota beat the wheels off of Chicago. And then we're going to watch a close, shitty game between Atlanta and Vegas. That's what's going to happen.
It will be shitty against
I mean,
the
you got
Raiders.
two teams that can't score. Kirk Cousins has been an absolute disappointment here. It's to the point that, like, I know why they're still starting him because they're still in the fight for a division title. But at some point, like, I'm surprised we haven't seen Michael Penix, which makes me wonder if we haven't seen him yet, what's wrong with Michael Penix?
I don't know if there's anything wrong with Michael Penix. I think what you're talking about right now is with the Falcons is they're still in a division race. This division's so bad, you're going to keep going with him.
No, I get that.
Keep running him out. Plus, I mean, what is it? We talked about how much money they spend on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Like, so you're going to have to keep spending the money. Or you're going to have to keep throwing him out there because of the amount of money. Why? Like, the Jets are out of the playoffs. They've been eliminated.
They're still throwing Aaron Rodgers.
They're still going to throw Aaron Rodgers out there.
They're trying not to, though. They've tried. He refuses to, like, go to any kind of, like, medical session.
They're trying to just be like, nah, man, you can't get no more snaps here.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's like the whole Daniel Jones thing. It's like, oh, fuck, dude, he gets hurt. We owe that dude $23 million no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to cut your ass. You out. We'll take the dead hit.
It's gonna buy a lot of ayahuasca.
Right. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like, I mean, they have to see this guy in practice. And if there was something there.
Like there was an inclination that he was better than Kirk?
Yeah. If there was something there, I feel like they would make that change.
Nah, I mean,
the way rookies are playing now, and I mean all of them, and we're talking the last couple of years, and I understand Bryce Young, and I get that there's a lot of outliers and stuff. Here's the thing, though.
He's still a rookie. He's had no playing time whatsoever.
Yeah, but look.
But hold on. What I'm saying is, like, he hasn't had play time. He was a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
You've invested a lot of money and resources, asset in him.
Well, first of all,
why do you throw him out there when the team as a whole is still not playing great? And you can kind of hold this guy back and say, nah, he's the deal, and we're only going to take a first-round pick for him. Or 2 first-round picks. I mean, it's you just don't want him to get out there and be exposed. Like, look how long it took Bryce Young to get to the point where that team looks good.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna regret it because I hated everything about what's happened with some of these rookies. But this year, every rookie quarterback that was drafted in the first round, except Michael Penix, and exception of J.J. McCarthy, who got hurt, has looked good though. Even Caleb Williams has had moments where he's looked the part. Jaden Daniels, by far, it's a 2-horse race for rookie of the year for me. Like, nobody else is in it. Well, maybe 3. You got to throw Bo Nix in it. But it's Jaden Daniels or Brock Bowers to me.
Fair enough.
I mean, Brock Bowers is what, number 2 in receptions, period, in the league?
Yeah.
Not just rookies, period.
That's impressive.
And he's playing with slubs.
Slubs.
Yeah, quarterback. I mean, who?
Slubs.
They're trash. I mean, dude has caught passes from Desmond Ridder, for Christ's sakes.
Desmond Ridder.
Yeah. Yeah, Desmond Ridder. And we know he ain't good.
No. I'll witness
that. He's not good. You want to run through this and just do a few picks, though?
Yeah, because Kentucky and Louisville is on it. You know how I'm feeling.
Oh, I know. You want to be all into that. I get it. But San Fran Rams, that was just a trash game, dude. Awful.
Desmond Ridder gonna be thrown for the Raiders this week.
That's what I'm saying. Brock Bowers going to catch all 12 of Desmond Ridder's passes because he don't throw a whole bunch.
No.
Doesn't throw a whole bunch. But Cleveland, Kansas City at Cleveland, Kansas City -4.5. I kind of want to see Cleveland win that game.
Why not?
Somebody in the room over does it, so
Don't want to see Cleveland win?
No, they're Kansas City fans. I try to tell them all the time they should have 3 or 4 losses. They're like, I'm like, dude, the refs are on your side.
Women.
The refs are on your side. If you don't see it.
All because what the media told us, we got like Taylor Swift.
I know. I noticed that when I saw the laptop fold up and there was the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce sticker, and I'm like, somebody else I know has a Taylor Swift, like Travis Kelce sticker on their computer too. And I'm like, basic white bitches.
Exactly, man. That's exactly what it is.
I'm so going to get myself in trouble later.
We're getting in trouble.
Oh,
I mean, this wouldn't be a podcast otherwise.
Yeah. But
we appreciate them listening.
I would like, dude, they ain't listening to us.
Christina listens every week.
Does she?
She doesn't. I mean, she probably tunes us out half the time.
I'm sure.
She just perks up when we say like Taylor Swift. Like, you got keywords in and she's like, huh? Like squirrel.
Taylor Swift, Jason Momoa.
It's like, oh.
But no, as much I would love to see Cleveland win. I might actually take Cleveland in the 4.5 in this. Playing in Cleveland.
I mean, Jameis does like to sling it. He makes that offense is fun to watch. Now they might suck some weeks, and then some weeks are good, but they're fun no matter what.
I say just roll him out there. It sounds like Stefanski's coming back next year. It sounds like Cleveland is all in on Stefanski because I believe they realize that front office made a mistake. I mean, if they don't by now, then.
I mean, you made a mistake with Deshaun Watson. Y'all went all in on that. Whoever was tied into that acquisition and that trade
should lose their job.
That's them. Send them out the door and be like, we starting fresh.
I would. Dude, if the Giants can take the dead money cap, they're taking on Daniel Jones. Cleveland.
This is a little bit more money here.
Just take it. Take it. It's worth it. You can split it up over multiple years now. You don't have to take it all at one time.
Yeah, you're going to take it this year. I'd hit it now anyway.
I would dump it, get rid of it. He doesn't want to play football anymore. You can tell. And even when he's on the field, he's a shell of the Houston Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah, he's not the same.
But, yeah. I mean, I think Kansas City's going to win the game, but I'm going to take Cleveland in the 4.5.
Yeah. Well, I'm not betting that game.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna throw it together anyway. You know me. I'll throw some crap parlays together all day long.
Cincinnati and Tennessee. Cincinnati's 5-point favorite.
I like it.
I don't know, man. Cincinnati's defense sucks.
Joe Burrow would be and not
MVP candidate if his team was good.
Not discrediting Saquon. If Cincinnati had a winning record, Joe Burrow would probably be your MVP. Saquon would end up being your offensive player of the year. Burrow would be your MVP.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look at the stats. There it is.
I mean, the first in passing yardage, first in passing touchdowns. He's the only guy to be leading in that category in the last, I think it's 25 years or something like that, that doesn't have a winning record. Everybody else that's done the stuff that he's done has winning records. Like, it's insane. Looks like UPS is here.
Yeah.
Or next door.
Right here. I think it's.
But it's just crazy. Like, I feel bad for him. You know, Cincinnati has the leading passer, the leading receiver
is Jamar Chase,
and the guy leading in sacks.
Oh.
But outside of the guy leading in sacks, the rest of the defense.
That secondary is trash.
It's all trash.
They get
it's him only. This is your sack guy, and that's it. Like, Jesus, dude. Get it together.
We just got the finger for some reason. No idea.
Wouldn't have anything to do with that basic comment, but, you know.
You said it, not me.
I
She's
said
giving it.
She flips us off all the time, so.
That's true.
She's bringing us fireball shots at it, but
she's in your camera view when she comes through and gives the finger. So there's video evidence of her being hateful.
Maybe like a real team that doesn't cheat every day.
There it is. All right, through I guess for the two big games, right? Let's hear what you got. Well,
I think on those two games.
Pittsburgh, Philly.
I think Philly wins. I like Pittsburgh plus 6.5 though.
I agreed with you. I agree with that. I think that spread's a little ridiculous for a matchup of this caliber. I mean, you know, Vegas knows so well sometimes, but I mean, I think they could lose their ass in this one. Because Philly just kind of plays a game that doesn't, you know,
they just kind of go along with what's happening.
Yeah,
I will say,
they adapt very well, and just.
I watched the Eagles-Carolina game last week. I will say the game should have been over before the Eagles had the punt that last time. That was a egregious face mask, helmet, tackle. Like, it was there. It was. Like, it was. But
I mean, it should have been out of hand at that point, especially if you're going to call yourself a Super Bowl contender. You should handle a Carolina team at home, mind you.
You should never let a bottom feeder play like that.
But they're not now. We know that. I mean, you saw Kansas City play them close. I mean, Kansas City should have lost that game.
They should have. Should have been another one of those L's. But
who else did they play close? Played another close game.
They played for the last 5 weeks,
5
or 6 weeks.
Yeah,
they've been close games with 2 wins in that same stretch.
Yeah.
As far as
they've lost their last 3. The Bucks. They lost by 3. They lost by 3 to the Chiefs, and then they lost by 6 to the Birds. So a combined 12 points over the last 3 weeks to all teams with winning records and likely playoff teams.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles are definitely a playoff team. The Chiefs are definitely a playoff team because
Bucks are first place in the division. At the
right.
moment.
Correct.
So,
I mean,
man, that Buffalo Detroit game, I don't know, man. Like, I want to just say Detroit minus the 2.5 because just damn it.
In Detroit, Buffalo's reeling after a loss.
That's the part that gets me about Buffalo. I feel like they're going to come into this hungry, especially like that Buffalo Rams game that might be the game of the year so far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
I mean, the prices for tickets for this game are as low as $355.
Ah, awful. We'll talk ticket prices later. We start talking the college playoffs, but like,
Yeah,
there's some
yeah.
stuff burning me up about
Yeah,
those.
those
Stuff burning me up.
those home games.
Oh man. But anyway, God, with Detroit being at home, I want to take Detroit. I'm staying away from the points totally. I would do Detroit money line.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm leaning.
I like Detroit money line in this one. They're at home. You give them the advantage here. The over/under is 54.5. Take the over. I think.
Oh God, yeah.
I think that's easy money this week.
I mean, it's just being a
They're
Packers.
both offenses are fantastic. Yeah, just go.
Being a Packers fan, dude, absolutely. Like, I want to say it hurts my feelings that Detroit is playing so well, but at the same time, they've been so bad for so long.
Yeah.
That like it's kind of interesting to see. Like, I mean,
there's this fan
that
base.
division is the best division in football at the moment.
This fan base deserves this stuff.
Yes.
I mean, the suffering they've been through, they deserve a good season. I don't think they deserve a Super Bowl by any means. That's got to be earned the whole way. But I like them having the excitement behind their team and having a winning product that's on the field and something they can support.
Dude, they're going for it.
I've been an Eagles fan and had so many promising years and been let down. So I think every fan base should feel that.
Well, dude, like Detroit's last game where they won on the field goal at time expiring.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Dan Campbell. They wanted to go for it. It's Jared Goff. They came to the sideline. Campbell was going to kick the field goal, and Jared's like, I want to go for it. Because he didn't want to leave any time on the clock.
Well, the ball.
And apparently what was said on the sideline, Dan's like, you want to go for it? And he's like, yeah, I want to go for it. And he looked over at St. Brown. St. Brown said, let's go for it.
Well, that's awesome.
And then they went for it. And then, like, there's a bunch of Packers fans all like, oh, well, his knee's down and stuff. And blah. God, it doesn't work that way, guys.
Oh, yeah, when he tripped out.
When his own guy stepped on his foot, it's not down by contact. We see that kind of stuff happen a lot in the NFL.
It has to be down by contact from the opposition.
That is correct. That is correct.
We know the rule. Don't say he's down by contact. This ain't college football.
There was a lot of
that would be a sack.
A pisser in college football. Yeah. That'd be a pisser in college football.
Yeah, that would. Ooh, that'd be awful. That'd be awful in college.
But it's not. And like I said, there was a lot of Packers fan that was crying about it. I'm like, what are you crying about?
Yeah, there's nothing to cry about.
I mean, it was a great game. I hate we lost. I won money off the game, but I hated we lost.
It was a good game. It was.
We covered the spread.
Hey,
but at the same time,
we covered the spread. Let's go.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Stop crying. You know me. You know how I feel about the criers.
No, I know.
I don't like it from any team, so including my own.
How about your boys in Seattle this weekend? You're 2.5-point favorite.
Oh, I'm taking that all day long.
I like it too. I'm a fan.
Taking it all day long. I don't think Seattle's that good.
You got a lock of the week?
Lock of the week.
I don't think I made one last week, but the one I had before was awful.
I know this is going to sound crazy. Lock of the week. Baltimore at the Giants, -16.5.
You think
Baltimore's going to beat the Giants?
They're going to cover 16.5.
Absolutely. The Giants suck.
You're locking that shit in.
Yep.
You're saying locked.
Yeah, Giants suck, bro.
I know they do.
They are awful.
I mean, that means they're going to go out there and not give one fucking effort. They're going to give 0 fucks the whole game.
Let me ask you a question.
16.5?
Who's tackling Derrick Henry in this game?
Ooh, that's a good point. I will.
All they got to do is just run the ball on him.
I will definitely take a prop bet for Henry with 2 touchdowns and
100 yards.
Yeah.
Easily.
I like that.
Easy.
I like that. That might be my. There's my lock of the week. I ain't even getting in the game. Lock of the week: Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns.
I like it.
Definite.
I like it.
Definition. Happy.
I was leaning. I was actually looking at Washington at New Orleans with the Washington -8, and then I realized that game, the Baltimore game, I was like, yep, that's the one I really like. But there is no way the Giants should even be remotely in this game.
Mm-hmm. No, they shouldn't. I don't like that spread. I don't like big
Remotely.
spreads like that.
I don't usually like them.
Not-
I usually go the other way with it.
Yeah, not in the pros. I'm not a big fan. I like the thought process.
But
I
they're
do. They could especially if they score on the first 2 drives and it's 14-0, you're probably sitting pretty damn pretty the rest of the game. You're like, they're gonna score again. So
yeah.
and the Giants, I mean, who's gonna score?
Yeah. Who's going to score?
Yeah.
Their kicker. That's about it.
Yeah.
If they get across the 50-yard line.
I like the idea of it. Yeah, you might not be wrong. You parlay it all together. Let's see what happens. We both put $5 in. I owe you $5 from the one we lost the other day
All right, I'll
because
throw.
I couldn't bet bets.
I tried.
Man, that was close too. What was
I-
it? It was at 6 legs and we missed 2.
Yeah, but it was all on Cincinnati's running back. That was the guy that lost for us.
Yeah, Chase Brown.
Yeah,
Asshole.
Chase Brown, and I don't think Dowdle
Dowdell didn't score, did he?
didn't score.
Yeah, I thought he was an anytime touchdown.
But he scored enough fucking points to cost me my fantasy win, son of a bitch. That's the one. How the fuck he can have a Dallas guy on his fucking team too?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you gotta be like me. Against it all. Fuck that guy.
Oh, God damn, dude.
But I mean, when it shit's thin and you're in the playoffs or you're fighting for the playoffs, I get it. Yeah, by any means
Whatever.
necessary.
He can,
Uh,
he can suck it. He's getting bounced this weekend anyway.
I hope he does.
Me too.
I want to keep riding high.
Are you playing him this week?
Nah, I think I have 8.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I mean, I might have shit on myself by betting that Derrick Henry because I haven't been fantasy.
Oh, no, you're good, bro.
I'm jinxed.
You're good. Derek's
Yeah.
going to score you 40 this
I
weekend.
hope so. All right, so I do have questions about the college football playoff.
Okay.
I'm a little puzzled. Hopefully, you're probably a little bit more educated on it than I am.
All right, what you got?
Why is Arizona State the 4 seed?
They are the highest ranking conference winner.
Highest ranked conference winner. So that's the rule.
Yep. Because
Okay.
they actually were ahead of Clemson. And
Okay.
that's why Clemson isn't in the get the bye. Its highest ranked conference winners get the bye.
Got you. So that's why Clemson finishes as the 12th seed.
Yeah. Yep.
I will say,
I do think it's a little weird that Clemson is still behind SMU, who they beat in the ACC championship game.
yeah,
But
that's-
at the same time, SMU is also seeded 11th. So
yes. I mean, you're right there between the two. I think it's a little weird to sneak these ACC teams in like this over Alabama.
hey, man, I believe I brought this point up to you about Clemson winning, so the ACC could possibly potentially get 2 teams.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. My problem with this is I do think Alabama should be in over SMU. I get Clemson had to be in.
Win your games. Don't lose to a shitty Oklahoma team at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think if they would have won that, they'd probably make it in.
They
over
probably
SMU.
would have. They absolutely would have.
Yeah.
But when you lose to a shitty Oklahoma team at the end of the year, just like Ole Miss lost to a shitty Florida team at
Yep.
the end of the year,
Yep.
and I
You can't lose
I
those
understand that
matchups,
South
you're right.
Carolina beat Clemson
Yeah.
at the end of the year. South Carolina wasn't paying for a championship, a conference championship,
Yeah.
and I get the arguments all the way around. I get it. Do I think Alabama's a better team than SMU? I do. Do I think Ole Miss is a better team than SMU? I do. I think, I don't think Arizona State beats either one of those two.
Yeah, I'd be shocked to see how Arizona State does against Texas or Clemson.
The Texas Clemson game to me is the most interesting first round game.
I'm slamming Texas in whatever the spread is.
When yours has looked like complete ass lately, by the way.
I know. I would throw Archie Manning in at this point. I'm like, you know what? Do it.
There's
Let's do
people.
it.
There's I've seen
I would.
I've
'cause
seen
he's looked
rumblings
good.
around like the internet about why isn't some team throwing some ridiculous amount of money at Arch Manning in the to jump in the transfer portal?
Why? It's his team next year.
I get it. It's
Yeah,
his team next year.
If they were going to do it, they should have done it last year.
Yeah.
But the problem is, now it doesn't matter because it's Texas, and you ain't going to outpay him.
No, you can't outpay him.
You
I
ain't
get
outpaying
that.
him.
I get that.
Maybe A&M, maybe. You're not gonna outpay him.
He ain't going to A&M, bro.
Well, of course he's not. Why would you? He's in a situation where that team is built to be good for a while.
We'll see. I heard some stuff this week, and it kind of made me go back and start thinking about it a little more.
Who needs money in the Manning family?
Swap.
He can go play for some JV squad if he wants to, and just be like, I'm good.
Swap.
He's gonna be in the league no matter what. That last name's getting him in the league. He can go play at fucking Jacksonville State.
Yeah. Swap Texas schedule and Oklahoma schedule this year.
This Texas. Texas beat the shit out of Oklahoma this year.
No, I said swap their schedule.
I know. I'm saying, but Texas beat the shit out of Oklahoma. They're a better team.
Okay, and Oklahoma turned right around and beat the shit out of Alabama.
That was just that bad game Bama played. It is what it is. It's something. I mean, that's bad coaching, a lot of that came into play in that game. Oklahoma,
I get it, but you have to admit
that was Oklahoma's.
You have to
playoff. That was the end of their year. They were going out high. They came out motivated for.
You have to admit Oklahoma,
and they were worn down through that entire year. This was their chance to at least to have some sentiment of happiness at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, but Oklahoma Texas got the way easier.
Yeah, no, we talked about it.
Schedule.
Florida and Oklahoma got screwed on this schedule.
Yeah,
both of them.
Well, Texas is going to get that schedule eventually, and we'll see.
Yeah,
do you think if they'd played Oklahoma's schedule, they would be 11-2?
They'd probably be 10-4.
They'd be
10-4, 9-5 is at worst. I think.
Well, that's if they're playing for the SEC championship. They have that. So,
well, yeah,
I'm just saying regular season schedule. Do you think they're 11-1 if they play Oklahoma's schedule? I mean, the only ranked teams they played was Georgia, and I don't know, was Texas A&M still ranked when they played them at the end of the year?
I think they were. It was right there.
But they were on the bottom side of it, though, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So they literally the only real team they played was Georgia, and Georgia spanked them twice.
They didn't spank them the second
time. Okay, they went to Texas and spanked them.
Yeah.
And then beat them in what would have been a Georgia home game.
All right, just for shits and giggles, I know we're not going we're going down a fucking rabbit hole as always. But all right, Oklahoma schedule. Mm-hmm. All right. Temple.
They win that game.
Houston.
They win that game.
Tulane.
They win that game. Well, I mean, that's the shitty nine. I'm saying
I know,
SEC schedule.
And here we are. All right. At home against Tennessee. Not on the road. At home against Tennessee.
I don't know. I mean, Tennessee's played well all year. I mean, they've been solid.
They have been.
But I mean, I'm going to pull up Texas' schedule.
I'm just saying,
so we can compare at the same time.
Texas at home against Tennessee. I like Texas. At Auburn.
Auburn's trash.
Home against Oklahoma. Of course, they smashed that game.
Yep.
At home against South Carolina, I like it. At Ole Miss is the one I think would.
I don't know, dude. South Carolina gave Alabama everything they could in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not. I just think Texas over South Carolina's.
I mean, granted,
in Texas, I like that. I just like it.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm sorry. They played several ranked teams who were ranked at one point in time. I mean, you want to be honest. Oklahoma was 18th when they played them.
Mm-hmm. Then you have versus Maine.
Yeah.
At Mizzou, Texas would have wiped the floor with Mizzou. Then played Bama.
Okay.
That one, I mean, and then at LSU, which I think they would have handled LSU.
Yeah, but at LSU is a different monster than playing.
Sure.
Playing at Arkansas.
Like I said, they could have been a two game
There'd have been
difference.
There'd have
Yeah.
been a 2-game. Like I don't think they're 11-1.
They might not play for the SEC title. I know what you're saying.
I mean, look at it this way: they barely went to Vandy and won.
But I'm saying with that schedule, they're Bama.
I get it.
Still on the outside looking in.
I get it. That's what I'm saying.
The fact that they only put 3 SEC teams in is baffling.
They couldn't put any more. They couldn't because the 3 they held out.
They
like,
could have held
literally,
SMU out over Bama. Bama is better than SMU.
Don't lose to Oklahoma.
I mean, if they didn't, they would have.
Don't lose to shit Oklahoma at the end of the year.
But the thing is, we just said Oklahoma's not even shit. You said Oklahoma just had a tough draw.
They did have a tough draw.
You can't say that. You can't use that argument and then say shitty Oklahoma. Oklahoma just had the worst draw in the SEC of the fucking schedule.
They had a shitty schedule. Florida had a shitty schedule. But with those shitty schedules, what was Oklahoma's record?
They were 2-6 in the conference. Florida was 4-4.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at just their schedule, Alabama should have wiped the floor with them.
I understand that.
And they didn't. That's why they didn't get in.
Yeah, but they got smacked by Oklahoma too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. If it was a close game, I think you might have been all right.
You could have argued a point, but they got 24-6 to a team
24-3.
To a team that has struggled all year.
Well, just because they couldn't put anything together there.
And a defense that couldn't stop anybody except for fucking Alabama.
And Mercer.
And Mercer.
And Western Kentucky.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why Alabama didn't get in.
The loss to Oklahoma is it, really. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's say they end up what if they beat Vandy and lose to Tennessee and Oklahoma? You think they're in then?
Yeah, I still think they're in.
Okay.
I think a 2-loss Alabama is still in over a 2-loss SMU.
Right.
But it's the fact that they got punched in the mouth by a Oklahoma team that has struggled all year.
Right.
They've been very up and down. Very up and down.
Not up and down. They just had tough draw. They're playing a fucking schedule from hell.
Okay.
No one wanted that thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, it goes back to the whole like, okay, the SEC might be the best conference, but if you beat each other up and everybody ends up with 3 or 4 losses, you're still not playing for a national championship.
Hell, man, I'd put South Carolina in over.
I'm not disagreeing with you about things, but at the same time, win your games.
I mean, South Carolina did. They won their last 6.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, look at their losses. Their losses came to 3 ranked teams. They lost to LSU, they lost to Ole Miss, and they lost to Bama.
How many ranked teams they beat?
They beat Clemson, Mizzou, Texas A&M.
Okay. Not terrible. Mizzou was better early. Kind of faded in the end. Mizzou was better early. Faded in the end.
They weren't ever really good. They were kind of questionable a lot of the way.
Yeah.
Right? But here's my thing. How many ranked teams did SMU beat?
Clemson. Oh, no, they didn't beat anybody. How many ranked teams Indiana beat? None.
None. But, I mean, they have 1 loss in the year.
How many ranked teams did Penn State win?
SMU lost to BYU.
Okay.
They beat Louisville.
Yeah.
And they did beat Pitt when they were ranked. But then they lost to Clemson in the ACC championship. I'm just saying, you take South Carolina's schedule was 10 times harder than SMU. Like, and I hate South Carolina with a passion. Like, just because I hate sandstorms so much.
Well, South Carolina lost at home to Vandy. South Carolina lost at home to Vandy.
This year?
Yes.
No, I just named out their 3 losses. Didn't I?
It's 20. Oh, I'm looking at Vandy's schedule, but yeah. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I'm looking at Ron's schedule. You're right.
That's what I thought. They lost to Ole Miss, they lost to Bama, and they lost to LSU. Those are the 3 losses. They smacked Vandy at home. Also, South Carolina beat Clemson. SMU did not, and they did it the week before.
Yeah, well, win one more game, bro. That's what they're gonna say.
No,
win one more game.
Bullshit.
3
What it
games.
is. Bullshit.
What they said?
Put me
what-
on that committee.
what
Put
they
me
s-
on that committee.
What they said is 3 losses ain't getting you in anymore. No
Why
matter
not?
who
There's
you
12.
are.
There's 12 fucking teams.
No matter who you are, 3 losses ain't getting you in.
Dumb. That's dumb. That's dumb. That team.
Okay. Be your SEC
Actually,
bias.
Ole Miss. Fuck.
What?
Give
Okay.
me Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss over SMU.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
SMU is going to get bitch
This
smacked.
this is all that has to happen. Okay. Clemson beats Texas. SMU wins their game. Indiana wins their game. All this argument is moot. Correct?
If SMU beats Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll shut up, but they're not. Penn State's gonna blow.
Penn State sucks though. Who has Penn State beat?
Huh?
Who's Penn State beat?
Everybody but Ohio State.
How many ranked teams did they beat?
Penn State has lost 1 game.
How
right?
many ranked teams did they beat?
None.
None.
I think they beat none
None.
because they only got.
They beat just as many ranked teams as Indiana did.
'Cause-
Just as many ranked teams as SMU did.
Ohio State and Oregon. Yeah, but they played 2 teams that are in the playoffs. They've lost to 2 teams in the playoffs, and they lost by 1 score each time.
But it's the same principle.
1 score each time.
It's the same.
It's still 1
Yeah,
score.
but do you really feel Penn State's that good?
Watching them against Oregon, I like them. I think they had kind of put it together. That game made me believe in Penn State.
I don't believe in Penn State at all.
Well, I'll tell you what, I believe in them beating the shit out of SMU.
You want to put a small wager? We got a couple of weeks before we really have to worry about it.
$10.
I'm in.
Yeah, $10.
I'm in. I'll take
I mean,
it.
I mean, for real. They're gonna beat the brakes off of them. I'll give you a 10-point spread on that game.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in on it.
You got to remember it. I'll forget it.
I'm just saying that, like,
They're gonna beat the shit out of them. Man.
Penn State's not great. They're not great.
They've
You
been
want my
competitive-
honest? You want my honest opinion? The Big Ten's way fucking overrated.
I agree with that.
Way overrated.
I agree with that.
Indiana, any other year, their schedule just worked out that way. I mean, they played
Mm-hmm.
8 of the worst teams in the Big Ten. Their only game they really played was Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I'm gonna pull their damn schedule up. We're gonna sit here and complain about it. Let's really break it down.
So here's my thought process. The other games, right? And we can both have our opinion on this bullshit all we want, but
They beat all the bottom feeders, bro.
the best teams in this, I think, are all the SEC schools.
I don't think the SEC schools go as far as you think. I think Ohio State can beat Tennessee.
Texas breaks down Clemson, no problem.
We'll see. I mean, that's a game that kind of really interests me because, like,
If Ewers comes out bad, let's say this game is they're down by 10.5. You put in
Clemson-
Arch,
absolutely, Clemson has the talent to compete with them.
but they just
They can't. Do they always put it together? No,
yeah.
they don't. I'm
And
not-
this one's played at Texas. I like Texas. I like Texas in this one.
Oh.
But I will say this: if Clemson does beat Texas, some miracle happens, they will beat Arizona State.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they will be. If
Arizona
Clemson,
State's gonna get
if Clemson
exposed
beats
for-
Texas, Clemson will be playing in the semifinals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
I'm with
agree.
you 100%. I personally think Oregon got screwed to be the number 1 seed.
they did because they got Tennessee and Ohio State, and I think Ohio State and Tennessee are both playing very good football.
How does the number 1 team have to play the 8-9? Why are they not playing like
Well, they should reseed, really, if you want to play this correctly. Do like the
They
NFL and reseed.
reseed? Yes,
if
sir.
let's say Clemson wins, they should have to go to Oregon no matter what.
That is correct. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
I-
Or actually, those are neutral site games.
Well, I mean, not they're going to play in the Rose Bowl, but
Yep.
um,
But they should have to go play.
yeah, Tennessee Ohio State's going to be the most interesting game here. I think Tennessee, of course, has the offensive firepower. Ohio State, I mean,
love
just a couple slip ups this year. I mean, but
Ohio State, like, again, the old man rant I wanted to go on, like, Ohio State fans need to shut the fuck up about Ryan Day.
they do.
66 and 10
there's-
during his career at their head coach. Shut the fuck up.
I've talked to you about this 100 times.
Oh,
I agree with you.
You and me are good.
Yeah,
but, like,
but-
everybody else, seriously.
I think it's stupid that you would want to fire a guy that can't beat the rival, 4 out of 5 times? 4 of the last 5 times? Or the last 5 times?
Dude,
can't
I
remember.
will take.
I don't pay too much attention to that. I do love watching Ohio State lose football games.
Oh, I do too.
It's
I
incredible.
do too.
That's why I would love for Indiana to beat Notre Dame. And I don't even like Indiana. But that's more particular about basketball and Bobby Knight and all that good shit.
Here's the thing about that game, the Indiana Notre game. It's the game that I told you I had like a ticket gripe about.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You said
The
you had one.
Indiana Notre Dame game. It's the Hyatt ticket price.
You know why? These two teams haven't played each other in years.
Dude, no, we're talking like by a large margin.
Yeah.
Like the lowest ticket price is over $800.
Woo.
Okay?
Woo.
Highest ticket price, $3,500.
Nope.
For Indiana, Notre Dame,
The two teams they're both in the state of Indiana.
they just trying
They
to.
haven't played each other in years. Like, I mean, get it. You're renewing a rivalry in a playoff scenario. This is a cool matchup. I really like the matchup because of that. You know, I mean, it's funny because Notre Dame's just kind of always, thumbed their nose at Indiana like they were just better than
Notre Dame thumbs their nose at everybody, and they still play that weak ass fucking schedule where they're trying to keep traditional rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, bro. Play some
USC ain't
teams.
good.
Get the fuck off the Armed Forces Academy. I get why you play them. I get it. Play somebody better.
It's time now. You want to be an elite. School.
You want to be elite? Play elite.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh well, we play USC. We play Michigan. We play Ohio State. But then you play Army, Navy, Air Force.
Yeah.
Let's look at their weak ass schedule. I know they played some ACC schools, so I know it's there.
Well, they played what 4 or 5.
I knew Florida State. Florida State at the beginning of the year was supposed to be a game.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. But let's see. Oh wait, we beat Texas A&M at the beginning. Yeah, you did. Good on you. And then you turn right around and lost to Northern Illinois.
Yep. God, we love that.
You paid Northern Illinois to come to
get
your
that
house
ass.
and lose.
Love it.
So, like, I'm always happy about that shit. But then you play, like, Purdue, Miami of Ohio. You did beat 15-ranked Louisville at the time. You played shit Stanford. You played, I want to call Georgia Tech shit because I hate them, but it is what it is.
They're shit until they play Carolina.
God damn, dude. God damn. Fuck, dude. You have no idea. I watched them play basketball a couple weeks ago, and I was like, motherfucker, if they lose this game. We ended up winning by 4, but at the same fucking time, you know how I feel about that shit.
That's awful.
If there's any team that I would put money on to beat Carolina, it's going to be Georgia Tech.
It's going to be Georgia Tech. GT.
Every time. But, they played Navy. They played Army. They played Virginia. They played Florida State. And, again,
They got fortunate with the Florida State draw. They thought that was going to be a game this year. And then
yeah, but USC sucks. And
we knew they were going to suck, too.
And they barely beat them. It was 49-35. It's the final
Mhm.
score of that game. Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't think that Notre Dame is all that in a bag of rocks, or whatever. Like, they're not all that.
No.
You're paying inferior talent. Matter of fact, you lost to inferior talent.
Yeah.
Like, way inferior.
Well, whoever wins that game is going to get their ass handed to them by Georgia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Georgia's going to cut. Honestly, it's not going to surprise me if Georgia wins this whole thing.
Well, I guess it does depend on who you coined as Timmy from South Park. Depends on if he's playing or not.
It does depend on if he's playing or not.
I think that has a lot to do with it. Let's see if Carson Beck plays. If Carson Beck plays, I do like Georgia to end up in the championship. I like Oregon. I really do. I think
Oregon can score on anybody. The question with Oregon is, can they stop anybody?
And I think the thing is, though, is if they get the ability.
I mean, I don't think Penn State's that great offensively. And Oregon let them score points on them.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, that's kind of like what
Oregon's
crazy about what Oregon's done in offense, right? Offensively in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible that they, ran this whole show this entire year, right?
Well, we called that shit. We knew.
I mean, that was our prediction, right? Yep. But I think we predicted Oregon to win the damn thing this year.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I picked Georgia last year. This year I picked Oregon. Oh, that's my bottle.
Yeah, what the fuck? I was looking for the mascot.
Oh, who knows? But no, man, that's a tough. I just like Oregon. I think an Oregon Georgia matchup would be huge.
It'd be awesome. It'd be great. I saw a thing where they were wanting to know why Gabriel was part of why he was a finalist and it wasn't, and Shedeur wasn't. And I was like, because Oregon's undefeated and playing for a national championship, and Colorado's playing in some bullshit bowl game somewhere.
Yeah,
that's
Colorado,
the reason why.
Because Colorado fell apart at the end of the year. They had games they could have won. They could have had them in this conversation.
Well, it goes back to the whole argument you and I were having earlier about like Travis Hunter being the Heisman favorite, and we both agree that we think it should be Genty.
Yes.
And like, it goes back to the thing I sent you where like swap teams for them. Swap teams. Boise State's not even in the playoffs. Colorado's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you want to be honest. I mean, Genty's the reason why Boise State's where they're at.
No, you're 100% right.
But anyway. Fuck Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I just had to throw it out there.
So who do you like in Tennessee, Ohio State?
God, dude, I want Tennessee to win, but at the same time, I just feel like I don't think Tennessee's going to know what to do in that weather.
Sinkhole, baby. Sinkhole. Well, Tennessee plays in cold weather, man. What are you talking about? They're in the mountains.
Not like fucking Ohio cold, bro.
It gets cold up there, man.
I'm not saying it doesn't get cold. It ain't.
I don't think
it ain't Midwest cold.
It ain't gonna bother them that much. Tennessee's all right. They'll be fine.
Plus, they got a quarterback that's 6'4", 185 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gonna take just one good shot, and that dude could be out of there. I'd like to say, I know you're not a Tennessee guy by no means, but I would like to say Josh Heupel's done a very good job there.
Sadly.
A very good job.
It's very sad.
But
I'm not happy about it.
Fuck. Can't be all bowl game guys over
Yeah.
here.
I mean, but you just go back. Let's talk about like Colorado again. You had your opportunity against Kansas, who was ranked at the time at the end of the year.
Yep.
Make a statement, right?
Yep.
And he took that L bad to Nebraska early on. I mean, there's the downfall right there. Now you get to play.
That was the game that Shedeur was all crying about, like his offensive line. Oh, how many times Raiola get hit?
Yeah.
I agree. That's not your fault. I agree, Shedeur. You got smashed. You've been getting smashed for 2 years.
Yeah.
We already know. I mean, your offensive line was better this year than they were last year.
Yeah, but get ready. You want to. There's something about Shedeur Sanders flashing New York Jets or Giants logo around on football.
I've seen some stuff here lately where they're talking going to be Cam Ward, and Miami's offensive coordinator is going with him to the Giants.
Well, here's what I'm saying. Want to complain about offensive line? Have fun there, buddy.
Right.
Ask Daniel Jones.
There you go.
Yeah. Have fun. You will not be Jaden Daniels.
No, you will
You
not.
will
Not
not.
behind that offensive line.
Nope, you will not. Promise.
That was the thing about Washington last year. Is Washington's offensive line was garbage. I
Mhm.
mean, Sam Howell got fucking destroyed.
He got sacked more than anybody else in the league.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you got to get the ball out. When you ain't got but a half a second to get the ball out, you ain't getting the ball out. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is. I mean, at that point, you might as well play Peyton Manning and just turtle up and lay down.
So, all right, let's but back on track. Boise State gets the winner. SMU Penn State.
I think Boise State can beat either one of them, to be honest.
I'd be interested. I mean, they gave Oregon everything they wanted.
Mhm.
So
Like,
that's why I posed the question, because I had the same thought. I was like, the way these teams run. Now, Penn State has a great rush defense. That will pose a threat. But I mean,
every team has been planning for the game planning for this dude, and he still ran for 2,400 yards.
Yeah, no, I'd be interested to see how many yards he could get on a Penn State defense, or the Georgia defense.
I'm not saying I'm not saying he gets 200 against Penn State, but he breaks 100.
I think he could a couple. I mean, he's had games where he barely broke 100 and got one touchdown. Yeah, that wasn't against Penn State. I think. No, I mean, I think he's still the star of the show, no matter what.
He is by far the star of the show.
Yeah, he'll be the star of the show in that game. I think he'll show out. But it'll come tougher than a lot of the other games where they have been.
Man, you mean he struggled to get 100 yards against teams? Where? Show me a struggle game.
For Genty?
Yeah. His lowest production game, he had 127 yards. He did that on 11 fucking carries.
He had 128 against UNLV on 33 carries.
Okay.
That's 3.9.
That's not terrible.
That's bad in comparison. Sorry. 3 point in comparison to what he is. I'm telling you, there was a couple times where it wasn't.
That
wasn't great.
That was
probably his worst game.
That was the worst game.
Yeah,
Everything else he is.
He had a 4.8 on 31 carries.
Yeah, but that was 149 yards and 2
touchdowns. Oh, I got you. But I mean, it's against San Diego State, right? So, but here's the line that's the most impressive, right? But we did talk about Oregon, and we talk about how
Oregon's
defense isn't great, but 7.7 yards a carry on 25 carries for 192 yards.
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
Like
that's huge. That says he likes the moment. He likes the big games. He wants to be in it. So I'm all about that.
You know, his he led college football. He led college football in rushing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know where his rushing yards are after contact? Just rushing yards after contact.
Just after contact.
After contact.
So he has 2,500 yards on the year.
Mm-hmm.
After contact,
he's still
1,200.
He would still be 5th.
Yeah.
In rushing. Just after contact.
How many yards rushing after contact?
I saw this stat not long ago. I'm trying to find it again.
You can find yards after contact.
I know. Well, I lost my mouse, so.
Oh.
What happens? You're looking at 3 screens at once, trying to.
Is it too much for you?
Ain't too much. I'm old though, you know.
It's so much. It's so much to deal with all at once. 3 screens. He's lost He's lost 2 fumbles on. But he's only fumbled it twice. He lost both fumbles he had.
Wait. I'm sorry. His yards after contact is almost 1,900 yards.
1,900 is yards after contact. Damn, I said 1,200.
The junior has 1,889 yards after contact, which is more than the total rushing number of any FBS player since 2019.
Unreal.
So 1,889 yards after contact. Now look up rushing leaders.
Yeah.
And we know he's number 1, but look, like just his yards after contact.
He'd be number 2.
Just after contact. That's insane.
Yeah. Hampton at Carolina had 1,660. He's number 2.
I know. Well, again, that dude is the 4th player in ACC history to have back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons,
Crazy.
which sounds nuts considering like some of the players that have gone through the ACC. But one of those players is a quarterback, and we all know who that guy is.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Do you remember who it was?
The rushing yards for quarterback?
Right. 4 players ever to do back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons, and one of them is a quarterback.
Back to back was talk about Lamar.
It is Lamar.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Right. What else you got, man? Talk a little bit about the playoffs.
No, I want to get through the playoffs and need a prediction right now. Who you got? All going all the way. All right, tell me your final matchup and who's going to win it.
Final matchup. God, I hate saying this. Hate it with a passion, but I'm gonna say it. Ohio State, Georgia. I think Georgia wins by 3.
So you have Ohio State knocking off Tennessee.
Yep.
Knocking off Oregon, which I understand that.
They should have beat Oregon the first time. It was that tricky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the time.
The
thing.
tricky clock runoff that essentially clinched it for them. Yeah. But they've since changed that rule.
No, you can't change it in the middle of the year.
They changed it.
I don't think you can do that in the middle of the year. It has to be bylaws.
They changed it.
I'd have to see that. Pull it up. What do you got 3 screens? Pull it up, man.
Oh, let's see.
Anyways, all right. Yeah,
I don't like it. Believe me, I don't like it at all. But that side of the bracket is pretty
It's weak. It's weak.
Yeah.
I mean, we could change this week to week. I'm thinking, give me Oregon and Georgia right now. Oregon, Georgia. Think we're gonna have Oregon, Georgia. I think. Give me Georgia to win.
It's a legal substitution, and they got caught with 12 men on the field, and so that was at the time it was an automatic 10-second runoff.
Right.
Now, if it's 12 men on the field, it is not a 10-second runoff.
Oh, they got rid of the runoff.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean, I get it.
Hey, play to the advantage, right?
I
get it. They found the loophole, and now they're tightening it up.
Yep. I mean, because it essentially changed I don't want to say change the outcome of the game, but it definitely hindered the outcome.
I got you. I'm going to say, I like Tennessee knocking off Ohio State.
I think Tennessee could do it.
Yeah, I'm liking that, but I think Oregon's going to get a tough matchup with Texas in the semifinals, and
Oregon's going to get a tough matchup with whoever they play against Tennessee or
I know,
or
yeah,
Ohio
exactly.
State.
But here's my funny thing is like Oregon can prove how good the Big Ten is or how good they are by playing three SEC schools to get there. Tennessee, Texas, Georgia. If Oregon ran a table like that, I put you up there as like one of the best college football teams of all time.
I mean, good on them.
That's a gauntlet run if Oregon's going to win this thing.
I just don't like. I still think Texas and Clemson it's sketchy. Even though I do think Texas should win the game, but Clemson has all the pieces to pull that upset.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they don't. They have the ability.
Whoever wins that game is cakewalking to the Final Four.
Yeah, I don't think Arizona State's.
I don't
do much. I don't think the Big 12 is good at all this.
I don't either. And that's why they only got one school.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I know they got to take the group of 5 school, but that's why Boise's there. But Boise played it all year. They did great. Played fantastic.
They did. They lost one game, and it was to the
Number one team in
eventual
the
number
country.
one team.
Yep. So it is what it is.
Can't say they don't deserve it.
I think whoever wins the Indiana Notre Dame game is going to hate life.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a home state. That's going to be a home game for Georgia. I mean, I know it's in New Orleans. That's going to be a home game for Georgia.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how well Indiana football fans travel.
I mean, the Rose Bowl is going to be Oregon.
Oh,
home
God,
game.
yeah. God, yeah.
What's funny is like the Peach Bowl is where Arizona State is, and it's like, it's not going to do you any favors.
Clemson wins that game. That's going to be a Clemson home game.
Yeah, I know. Hell, it'd be a Texas home game for us
too.
in Arizona State.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You kind of got the same feeling about Boise State playing in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's in Phoenix, so you're going to be.
I mean, you're still out west.
Yeah, that's a home game for them. In comparison, I mean, SMU's a lot closer, but like I said, I don't think it's going to come close to touching Penn State in this.
I fucking want them to win so bad. I don't like the Big Ten. You know how I feel about it. The Big Ten is so fucking overrated, and fucking college football and ESPN strokes
and yet
their
you're talking
dick.
about Ohio State being in the fucking final.
I don't want to, but that's what I feel.
Yeah, fuck the Big Ten. It's overrated, but Ohio State's going to be in the fucking final. Yeah,
it's not going to surprise me. Like, honestly, it's not.
All right, let's wrap this one up real fast.
I mean, if you want you really want to know who I'd love to see play in it. I'd love to see SMU and Clemson playing for the national championship. I'd like to see one of the ACC schools make it to the Final Four, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so let's do it. You sent me a tournament standings.
God, yes.
For
Christmas movies. Yes.
Right? And being that it is the holiday season, let's talk about it.
It fucking irked the shit out of me.
I agree with some of the ratings, but then some of them, I mean the biggest one of them all is Christmas Story.
Yes, I do.
And a 16-seeded matchup or 16-seeded tournament.
They have
Christmas Story is an 11 seed.
There's no way.
Motherfuckers.
No
whoever
way.
fucking put these rankings in.
It's the Barstool guys.
Oh, is it Big Cat?
It's from the Barstool Sports who posted this list. That's
Man,
probably
I
why
respect
I
Big Cat a whole lot. I don't see. Man, come on, Big Cat, you better than that. Elf is great, but you can't rate that as a 2.
No,
Elf is not number 2 on the list.
Nope.
Like Home Alone's a great number 1. I mean, it's
I'm
hard
okay
to
with
combat
that.
it.
I'm okay.
But I know, and everybody have their own opinion. Christmas Vacation is my number 1, hands down.
Christmas Vacation was 3 on their list, and I'm okay with Christmas
I'm
Vacation.
okay. I'm
That's
okay
not
with
terrible.
that. I think the 2's a little high there. I would probably, if it were me, I would swap probably Christmas Story to the 2. If not Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Story isn't the 11th though.
Elf,
it ain't even fucking close.
Right. Elf should probably be somewhere in that 6, 7, 8 range, in my opinion. You could knock Polar Express down a little bit. Like you're saying, Polar Express and The Grinch are better than Christmas Story.
Ain't no way.
I mean, The Grinch does need to come up. Don't get me wrong. Like, and then Jingle All the Way is a 10 seed.
Well, here's the thing.
Like, I love, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Bad Santa, and that 4 seed's pretty strong. It's not bad. It's not a bad move.
It ain't better than Christmas Story.
It's not better than Christmas Story.
100%.
100%. I do love me some Bad Santa though. Fred Claus on the list at 14 makes sense. I never saw The Night Before. Don't know what that is.
That is the.
I mean, I see that it has
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen in it.
It's Seth Rogen. God dang it! It's Seth Rogen and why am I brain farting on the dude? It's the guy that played in Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That guy.
Yeah, I see him.
But
they don't even know.
I have a problem with Home Alone. Like, I understand. I feel like Home Alone falls in the same category as Die Hard. That it's not necessarily a Christmas movie. It just happens to take place at Christmas.
The whole fucking soundtrack's Christmas songs. Home Alone is a Christmas movie, 100%.
All of Die Hard songs are Christmas songs.
Yeah, but that takes place in Christmas. But like, this is actually in a Christmas event. He uses ornaments to fuck up feet.
I get it. But
It is a Christmas movie. They go away because he's missed a Christmas trip.
Shut the fuck
There
up.
she is. Like, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It just takes place. Like, there's nothing Christmassy about Die Hard. I get you.
Then where's Gremlins?
The same. Gremlins is not a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas. But Home Alone is a Christmas movie.
Oh, they don't use Christmas stuff to fuck up Gremlins and Gremlins?
Yeah, you got a good point.
Oh, see, there
But
you go. That's my
But
point.
Home Alone's a fucking Christmas movie, man.
I'll be honest. I'm not a huge Home Alone guy.
It's a problem.
Well,
A fresh cheese pizza just for me.
Just not. I don't know. It just didn't do the spot for
I'm
me.
very disappointed in you. Home Alone 2 is great too. I mean, I don't think it deserves to be in the top 6 here, just because it's redundant. But Home Alone is a Christmas movie.
I'm a little disappointed at Charlie Brown Christmas being at 7.
It's about right. I do love it. Don't get me wrong. But like, I mean, I give you a whole ranking. Like, Christmas Vacation is number 1 on the list, in my opinion. That's who I'm calling number 1 all the way.
I like Christmas Vacation. I would take that at 1.
I think my number 2 is Home Alone.
My number 2, Christmas Story all day long, bro.
I think that's my number 3. I think that's my number 3 is Christmas Story. My number 4 might be Bad Santa. I really do love some Bad Santa. I would move Grinch into the talk though. Grinch has got to be up there.
I wasn't a big fan of Jingle All the Way, to be honest, either.
I just like it because it's fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and it's funny. I mean, it's okay. I mean, they're battling for a toy the whole time.
I get it.
It's funny. I mean, it's a good concept.
Fred
Fred Claus is underrated by a lot of people. It's a good, funny story. It's when Vince Vaughn was still kind of at his peak. I'm a big fan. It has that Vince Vaughn like humor.
Yeah, but Vince Vaughn's
comedy.
got 2 movies in the top 16, and I don't agree with that at all.
Huh?
He's got 2 of them in the top 16.
Oh yeah, the 4 Christmases. Yeah, that one. I mean,
And
it's deservedly a 15.
That's right, Dakota. You come and agree.
No, she came to me.
She's like, you got any more of those cashews?
She's like, hey, yeah.
Got any more of them
What
cashews?
y'all got up here? Is there some food? I need some food. Yeah,
But
what's your
anyway,
favorite
it was just the whole ranking thing
Sure,
with the
go
Christmas
for it.
Story being 11 drove me
Go
crazy.
Beast.
I just didn't agree with the ranking stuff. I like Scrooge. I think Scrooge is way underrated.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I mean,
At 12?
yeah, it's a little low. It's a little low. I mean, I understand why It's a Wonderful Life is 5. It would not be my 5.
It's classic.
It's a classic. It's there.
But how
But
many
it's
times I watched A
definitely-
Wonderful Life all the way through?
maybe twice in my.
Never.
Really?
Never. I've seen bits and pieces of it a
So you
billion times.
put the whole entire story
I've never
together that way?
watched it.
I've
one
watched
time
it all the way through maybe twice. And that's just because I was probably tired, full of food or whatever, and just sat on and it was like, that's what's on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I remember back when I was a kid, like TBS would do Christmas in July, and they would do 24 hours of A Christmas Story in fucking July, and I would watch it at least twice all the way through.
Man, it gets you kind of hyped. You're like, hey, man, I can't wait. 6 more
Yeah.
months. Let's go.
Did you ever see the second part of that story? There's a second one where it's all about them fighting with tops. It's all a precursor to Beyblades, essentially.
The what?
You know what Beyblades are? That's where they do like the little fighting tops in the little like arena thing. But that's what they're talking about on that. They're doing the fighting tops.
On the new Christmas story?
Unlike it's not the Christmas Story, like the actual Christmas Story, not the actual sequel where Ralphie's an adult.
Okay.
There's a second story that came out right after the Christmas Story, but it takes place during the summer with those guys.
I've never seen that.
It's out there. You should check it out.
It's the same character, like
Yeah.
actors and everything?
Yeah.
What? How come no one's ever told me this?
How'd you not know?
What's it called?
How I don't remember. I'll have to Google it up.
Dude,
I will find out for you and I'll get it for you.
dude, really? This is. I'm watching that tonight.
It takes place during the summer. It takes place while they're out of school.
No shit.
Yep.
So they made another movie that wasn't Christmas.
I'm looking it up
or
right
A Christmas Story. No fucking way, man.
That's not. That's a
Did
Christmas
you make this
story.
up in your head?
Nope. Dude, that's a Christmas story too. I'm looking for it right now, and it's not a Christmas story. It takes place during the summer, but it's the same fucking
So
people.
just look up like Peter Billingsley's like.
That's the second one. That's not what I'm looking for.
A Christmas Story Christmas?
Nope.
That's what she's talking about.
That's what she's talking about. That is not it.
We know that. I've seen that.
It actually may take place before A Christmas Story. Second. I'm looking for it now. This is fucking
For the
ridiculous.
same actors.
Christmas Story sequel, return. Not it. That is not it. What is it called?
All right, you gotta quit chewing over here, dog. You're covering up the background.
I'm trying to find it right now. Is that it? No, maybe it doesn't have all the same people, but it's called My Summer Story. I think this is it. 1903 is Summer of the Parker family and the unusual number of events happening in separate lives. I think, yep. Maybe it's not the same people, but it's made by like the same people.
Hers is 83. Came out 11 years.
Yep.
Different actors.
It's different
all
actors,
together.
but it's the same.
Kieran Culkin played Ralphie. Then, of course,
I think it's technically a prequel as far as timeline.
My Summer Story runs in the family. 94 American comedy film directed by Bob Clark that serves as a sequel to his 83 film A Christmas Story.
Yep.
Like the previous film, is based on a semi-autobiographical stories by Gene Shepard, primarily from his book In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash.
I didn't realize that was a book. I may have to check that out.
Yeah.
It was just a weird like.
Nope, it is a sequel because the opening makes direct reference to the events of A Christmas Story. Okay. And the ending narration strongly parallels it. Production delays forced most of the characters to be recast.
Yeah, the Christmas Story's got some of my favorite lines in any movie.
Well, obviously.
Dude, it's the whole like.
I can't put my arms down.
It's that, and it's whole when he's beating the shit out of the bully, and it's
yeah.
like the kids standing there. Did you hear what he said?
Your mom. Shh. Your mom's coming. Ralphie.
That, and mom pulls him off, and then like later she comes to find a little brother, and he's all crying, and Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie.
No, Daddy's not gonna kill Ralphie. Yes, he is too.
Yeah, that movie was great.
Yeah.
If you hadn't watched the second part of that, the Christmas story, you should watch
I
that.
have. I've watched it. It's good. Yeah, it was.
I liked it a
It was
lot.
very well done. I mean, it's no comparison to the OG, but
No,
what would you expect?
It was good. Good.
Cool.
Anyway, you
Well,
ready to wrap this thing
Yeah,
up?
we're wrapping it up. That's a nice nugget of knowledge. We covered college football, NFL, some bullshit, my trip to Mexico, and the diarrhea I brought back with it. So,
Go get some dinner and go see some Christmas lights.
yeah, man, let's do it. Until next time, we'll see y'all. Oh, shout out to Con back in the chat. I'm glad we got the mics working for you this time.
Man, Con is a man. He is
He
here
is the
like
man.
every week.
Every week. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you listening, brother.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all.
Yes, sir. I thought it was the same people. I hadn't seen it.